Everyone, and welcome back to another Peripass webinar. We're going to wait a few more minutes to see if a little bit more people will join us because we have more registrations, and then we'll get started very soon. Maybe can the people who are already here confirm in the chat if they can see and hear us? Good morning, Piotr.
Hi.
Yes.
That's good news.
Perfect.
Off to a good start.
Off to a good start. Good morning, Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Yes.
Welcome, Luc.
We're just going to wait until about 2 minutes past our starting time, and then we're going to get going.
We'll need our time because we have a lot to talk about today.
And Jan has Sabrina as well. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina.
Okay. Perfect. All right, I think we should just get started then.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay, again, welcome everyone, and welcome back to our Peripass webinar. I'm Lily, content marketer here at Efficient. You know me from previous webinars, the newsletter, and other pieces of content. I don't know if you guys have seen the new stories from the yard. I'm the new host there, so that's also really fun. Today we're here for a webinar, The Road to Automation, and we're driving in a topic dear to Lin's heart.
Yes.
It's automation, of course. We have confirmed that people can hear and see us. I just want to point everyone's attention to the questions tab. If you have questions you want answered during the Q&A, please put them in that specific tab. It makes it a lot easier for us to get to everything. Otherwise, we might miss it, and that would be a shame, of course. And our guest for today is Lien Gering. You guys have already seen her before. Lien, can you remind our guests what you do here at Peripass?
Of course. Some of you might even know me because I'm customer success manager, meaning that I support the existing customers in making sure they get all of the value out of our platform. And that's what we're going to do today as well.
Okay, great. Today we are talking about automation. Can you share a little bit more what we're diving into today?
Of course, it's simple. What we see is that early adopters of our automation functionality have a big improvement on their daily operations. What do I mean with that? Well, actually, teams move away from repetitive tasks, manual tasks, resolving 80% of all those tasks by Peripass, making sure that the staff focuses on the 20% of exceptions of complex questions and issues that remain on your yard, and gets that real value that they can deliver to the organization, to your organization, making sure or resulting in the fact that the yard capacity increases because there's less delays, and even in some cases extending opening hours of your yard, increasing yard capacity. That's it in a nutshell. For example, at VF Europe, to give you an example, they already had a night shift, but they diminished the amount of people needing to be present on the office in the night shift from 6 to 1, and the operations run as smooth as possible.
That's a huge saving as well. All right, so let's set the stage. Many of our customers start with the basics like digital checking, digitizing transport flows, dispatching. These are some great first wins, but we still see that typical yards still struggle with the fact that manual processes block growth. High volumes mean a lot of changes, and that means a lot of opportunities for human error to slip in.
Yes, if volumes rise, then you need more people to avoid those delays. But if you have more staff, that means a higher cost, and it also leaves room for human error and communication difficulties.
Okay, that makes sense. You don't want your team to be stuck on doing these repetitive tasks. And when you do something on autopilot, it's easy to make small mistakes. For example, a missed step, maybe a wrong dispatch, or even some delayed communication.
Exactly. This happens to the best teams, making processes slow, costly, and quite painful.
Mhm.
So that's why automation is such a game changer for a lot of our customers.
And when we talk about automation at Peripass, we mean
Automatic dispatching, automating predictable and repetitive yard flows, freeing up your staff to focus on exceptions, and reducing errors, dock idle time, and overall admin time.
Okay, so today we will be showing you guys some of our three more powerful features: automatic dispatching, combined transports, and of course the Yard Assistant app. Let's start with the dispatch automation. What does it do?
Well, automatic dispatches mean that you dispatch visitors to yard locations automatically based on your own setup business rule. Here's how it works. So what I will do is I will show my screen. Here we go.
Okay.
If all is good, you can see my screen now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you how to set it up, and then we'll show you what it would actually look like on the yard. So to start, let's go to the configurations tab, what you see right here. Then we'll select dispatch dashboards, select it right here. And then we're going to edit one of those dashboards. So I'm going to select this one, go to the yard. And what you can see right here is a visual representation of your yard. So in the case of my example situation, as you can see right here, you have certain docks that are dedicated for certain carrier. In this case, that's DHL. Let's say you have more trucks for DHL coming in, meaning that you want to connect another one to DHL. What you can do right there is actually select the dock you want to change, edit the yard location, and add a tag. There you go. I'm, of course, also going to make sure that the name reflects this so that everyone sees that it's actually for this type of customer. And right now, what you have created is an extra dock dedicated to DHL. Let me close this, and let me now show you what it would look like in this situation when you go to the dispatch dashboards. So what you have right here is a shipment, a driver who arrived, they registered, they're waiting to be dispatched. And as you can see right here, their carrier is DHL, and it's linked to auto dispatching. This has been enabled. Of course, right now what you see here is auto dispatching has not been put on. Why not? Of course, I wanted to show you that whenever you toggle it on and you have set it up correctly, it will automatically push your driver to the right dock. So let me show you. I will quickly put them in the waiting queue. So our system is triggered to actually start looking for connections between the yard location and the driver. And that's what you see right here. You see the driver being dispatched to one of the DHL boards. So that also means that your driver has received an SMS at that point stating this is your entry code, your PIN code to enter the yard, and you can drive to this dock. So that's actually what happens. So if you set this up, the moment a driver registers, they say that they're part of DHL. You have that tagging enabled on your yard and automatic dispatching is turned on. What will happen is they will be automatically, even when they're still at the kiosk, communicated where they need to go. No more waiting time.
Okay, so basically no more manual decision making every time a truck arrives.
Exactly.
That's great. So if I'm understanding correctly, that means no more trucks can be blocked by trucks that are delayed. There's a higher flexibility and also higher throughput because they immediately get dispatched, already saving time there. And it's also a lot less manual coordination for your dispatchers because they know I only have to look at the drivers in the queue that are not yet auto-dispatched.
Yes. That's exactly what happens. So what we see there, to give you an example of the real world, is Musketeer. They use this to cover during the night. So when somebody arrives during the night, they have something enabled which they call pilote automatique.
Mm.
This means that their operations just continue throughout the night, meaning that they're optimizing the capacity of their yard rather than only starting in the morning when the first person at the dispatch desk arrives. That's a tongue twister.
So what if a truck arrives with multiple transactions though?
That's something else. That is what we call combined transport.
Mhm.
So for our dedicated webinars fans, what you might remember is that we did a webinar on this. So you can definitely rewatch this on YouTube, but here's a small refresher. In the case of combined transport, what we optimize is that drivers who will carry multiple references, multiple shipments, they only have to register once, and then in sequence, they will automatically be redispatched to the other docks.
Mhm.
So this means during registration, the driver enters all references or one reference, and we connect then the other references because they're already knows in the system. That's one or the other. Peripass groups them together in one single flow, and then dispatching happens in the right sequence without extra manual work. So meaning if somebody enters a reference and they are here to unload and load, even when they register the loading reference, Peripass will make sure that the unloading happens first, of course.
That makes sense. Can you show us maybe what it looks like in
Yes.
Peripass?
Definitely. I will share my screen again. So back to the configuration. So this is the same spot where we were before. Let me search for combined transports right here. And what you see right here is how you set up combined transport. It's one easy field, and there's a few things that you have to enable. You have to define combined transport grouping field. So that's a number or a reference that will be used to connect those different elements to each other. In this case, we have set it up with visitor number, meaning that if somebody enters that visitor number, then they will be connected. Those different shipments will be connected to each other. Then, of course, you have to make it available to your type of profiles. In this case, we have multiple dispatch dashboards. For many of you, there will only be one dispatch dashboard, and then you just have to add or remove the profiles you want this enabled for.
Yeah.
So you're not making it overly complex and only applying it to those relevant transport flows.
Yeah.
And that's it basically when it comes to the setup. Now, let me show you what that will look like from driver point of view. So in this case, a driver arrived and they registered. During the registration process, they have to give up one reference. And the system already knew this reference is connected to multiple other shipments. So they can confirm or even add an extra one. And once done, they are dispatched to the waiting spot, of course.
Yeah, and you can see there combined transport.
Exactly. So what I show you right here, and this is also something that your dispatchers will be able to take a look at before they dispatch. They see, there is a combined transport for this flow. So if you click on it, you see, okay, there's two things that need to happen for this driver. So first of all, we are going to do the first sequence, which is in this case an unloading sequence. Makes sense because they arrive with a full truck. And then afterwards, once that is finished, they will automatically be put in the waiting spot again to redispatch to the second dock to load.
Great.
That's it in a nutshell.
That looks like it can make everyone's life a lot easier. What's the impact that customers have by using these features?
There's a lot of impact. Like, for example, at Essos, drivers had to register separately for loading and unloading, meaning that they had to leave the yard, re-register again at entry, and wait to be dispatched multiple times. So that is gone now. Now it's one flow, so they have less waiting time for drivers, less admin, both for drivers and for your dispatch people. And of course, the drivers are happy because they don't have to run around your yard the whole time.
So it's register, dispatch, leave, register, dispatch, leave before automation?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just register, dispatch, leave.
Perfect.
Or maybe a second example, if we've got a bit of time.
Of course.
GXO, they have two types of inbound flows. So they have cross-dock and storage goods. Cross-dock contains goods that need to leave again that same day. Storage, on the other hand, that's getting stored in the warehouse for later. The challenge is that sometimes both types are mixed in one same truck, meaning that cross-dock goods must be unloaded first to avoid delays or penalties.
That sounds complicated. How did they used to do that?
Well, before they had one dedicated guard who had to check every truck's PO numbers manually during the registration. This way, the only way to spot cross-dock orders and make sure that they were unloaded first and not mistakenly second. Now, Peripass groups and prioritizes those orders automatically. Cross-dock tasks get triggered, and storage tasks get put in a second sequence on the Yard Assistant app. But that's something else.
Okay, so the result with this combined transport feature is that they saved on 1 FTE. And there's also, maybe more importantly, a full audit trail of what was unloaded, when, by whom, and all that information is just stored digitally.
100%. So this is really helping them with fighting penalties that are not asked correctly. So it's really about removing friction for both the driver and your team. Again, if you want to take a closer look at all the possibilities with this combined transport, please take a look at our YouTube channel. We have a full webinar on it, and there's a lot of different ways to use it.
We have, in fact, a whole playlist of our previous webinars, so you can watch anyone that you have maybe missed in the past.
Indeed.
Then you mentioned the Yard Assistant app. Let's dive into how that even brings more automation to any yard.
My pleasure. So the Yard Assistant app puts all the different tasks directly in the hand of your teams via a mobile device. That can be an iPhone, an Android phone, or even a Zebra device, whatever your team is used to using. It's just an app that basically runs on it.
Okay, let's take a closer look.
Yes, indeed. I'm not going to show you what the app looks like, because that's also something that we already showed in the past. What I am going to show you is how you can enable it so that you can start testing with it on your yard after this webinar. Great. So let me again share my screen. A lot of screen sharing today.
Well, that's good, because then our guests get a lot of demos.
Yes, indeed. We're going to have a lot of fun things to play with later on. So what I will do is, again, as you know, I will go to the configurations page, and I will go to fields. So what you see right here is actually the place where you create the questions or the tasks in a task list. So let's say you have a certain flow that at the end of loading, a seal needs to be provided. On the loading, we see that a lot in food industry.
Security.
Yeah, security and all that. And you, of course, want to make sure that for audit purposes, it's shown that the seal was put on correctly before they left your yard. So that's what we want to do right here. Now, how we will do so? Basically, what you do is you can create an extra field right here. I already prepared a webinar one, and I will show you what it looks like. So as you can see on this spot, you have the task, which is take a picture. It shows that it is a task that can happen. The field is take a picture. That's a drop down that you can create based on whatever you want to do. And I'm gonna have to put ourselves away a bit, otherwise I cannot click on save changes. So what it actually does is it gives a trigger on what kind of info needs to happen. You have multiple choices. Now in this case, it's take a picture. So of course it will trigger a picture being taken, but it could also be a drop down, multiple choice, open field, and so on. Yeah. So a lot of possibilities there. Once this is saved and created, we're gonna go to the next step. And that is again, back to configurations. Then there we're gonna look at task templates, because that is what we are gonna make for this certain operator. They need to take a picture from that seal. So we're gonna create a task that is specified for that element. In this situation, task templates, we already have a template, webinar demo. Let's open it. And as you can see, if we go to the steps, what you can see right here is I already have one question completed, and that's seal number. That's the first thing we want our operator to put in when they do a control, the number of the seal. But then, of course, we also want them to take a picture of the seal being put on the
We need that proof.
We need that proof, indeed. So I'm going to go a step back. I will add a task step. And if I go to the drop down, then here at the bottom, I see my extra step that I just created together with you. And that is webinar take a picture. I'm going to put it on required because, of course, I want them to complete that. And as you can see, it is done right now. So now we have our checklist that needs to be done with every truck that needs to leave with a seal. Of course, we need to make sure that that tasks pops up in the task list of the right driver.
Yeah.
So that's our third and last step.
Yeah, we want the right person to take on this task.
Exactly. So if we go to configurations and we go to user roles, then you can see right here, webinar operator, that's our name of this type of profile. You can make sure to edit this. And what you will see is that they actually, if we go to task management, they have those different tasks selected to them. In this case, I will add our webinar demo to their tasks list to be done. And we're done. So basically the next time that a truck arrives, that will trigger this action to link that seal to it and to do that control, automatically your operator who needs to perform, probably will be a quality operator or some sort, they will have that tasks pop up on their app right away.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, the staff completes their checklists, they take their photos, they log all their activities right in the app, and everything is linked to that visitor as well. So we have a full audit trail.
Full audit trail.
So the picture that the operator takes will also appear in the driver profile.
Exactly. So what we see is that that not only makes sure that every task that need to be completed is actually completed, that there's no risk in people forgetting or not seeing certain tasks because they just pop up and you just sequentially follow them. Once they're done, then only at that moment your driver can leave the yard again. So it's really a smart system. And an extra benefit of that is you don't have to do all the administration at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to get out that SD card, pop it in your computer, make sure it's on the right places. No, it's just already digitized.
Straight from that application.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and do we have any customers who are already use this feature?
Yes, of course. We do have quite a few who already use that feature. What we see at a lot of our customers is that they have different flows. So most of them start with one flow that they automate, and then they start adding extra tasks. But I see a question from Piotr in the chat. Is any work instructions available regarding this setup? So that's a good question, Piotr. So what I will advise you is take a look at the follow-up email that we will send after the webinar, because there will be a link to our help center. In that help center, you can just put in the name of the functionality we talked about, which will also be relisted in the email, so that will be easy for you. And there you can find a step-by-step guide to set things up. That's how to set it up. If you need support in defining what would be good task to start prioritizing and what the return on investment could be and so on, please reach out to your customer success manager. They will help you.
Yeah, they will help you figuring out what would be a priority for you and how
Indeed.
to do it. Okay, so if a truck, let's go back to our Yard Assistance app. If a truck would arrive unclean at the end customer, so after they leave your yard, in the past, our customer had a hard time proving that
Yes.
it actually did leave their site clean and that the transport company was reliable. But now they no longer have to hunt down that physical paper, these floating pictures from the SD card that you mentioned. No more time-consuming back and forth. We just pull up the driver profile and say, hey, we took the picture, it looked like this. And if it looks different upon arrival, that's on the transport company.
Exactly, yeah.
Great.
So basically, by using the Yard Assistant app, you automatically send a task to your quality controller or your yard operator, whatever the task is to be done. They know exactly when and where to perform the tasks. And then, as the third step, they inspect the truck, take a picture, log a results. All visible in the office in real time and easy to search thanks to that audit trail that you have on the user level when an issue arises.
Okay, so your team knows exactly what to do, when to do it, and nothing is lost.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So it's basically an automation for your yard staff. So we take automation a step further than only registration and dispatching. We also take it to your yard on the floor, making sure that every step happens correctly. Of course, this is something that can be set up for quality controllers. It can also be set up for shunters. That's something that we see as a lot as well. It can be done with paperwork that needs to be checked. It could be anything. But happy to talk one-on-one on what would make most sense for you.
That sounds like a beautiful automated flow that we have figured out here. And I know that Peripass automates up to, and even more honestly, of 80% of these flows. But what if human error creeps in the end? What if, for example, a driver gets their SMS to go to their dock and they don't respond within a timely manner? It takes like 30 minutes for them to arrive at the gate. Then what?
You would say that that is something that is an exception and that we push back to our companies, but we don't, of course. We've been thinking a lot with our product team on how we can tackle this kind of issues, and they came up with something wonderful. I'm only going to give a sneak peek of it because Arne next month is going to do a full-blown webinar, and it will need a full-blown webinar because it has so many possibilities. But I will already start sharing my screen to give you a bit of a sneak peek.
I think we have to move ourselves again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just bigger.
You can maybe close our tab, I think.
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so what I'm talking about is the exceptions monitor. So this is something that informs you when something goes off track. For example, when a truck is spending too much time before they respond to a call off, like a text saying that they can go to the dock, it's taking them 20 minutes. That's not what you want to do. It'll fix it. So basically, there's a few things that have been set up automatically and are available for everyone in all bundles, being drivers taking too long to respond to a call. It will highlight, as you can see right here on the screen, it will highlight it with a black box around that yard. Driver is not responding after call off, for example. Then, of course, what is also a possibility is that we take a look at further optimizations and automatizations, alerts that can be set up for your specific needs on your yard. And that is something that will be available on the Pro or the Plus bundle. Because, of course, that asks a bit of manual setup. But it's available for everyone because we want to make sure that everyone benefits from this
feature.
Indeed.
And this feature highlights hidden problems the moment they occur. And instead of waiting until that driver and that dock have been blocked for 45 minutes and nothing's happening, so that causes delays because the dock is occupied even though no one's there, the yard managers and operators receive an alert so they can respond quickly and efficiently.
Exactly.
That is great.
So when the problem is resolved, the flag automatically disappears too. So it's not that you have an extra admin task to resolving those things on your dashboard. No, it only flags when something is going wrong. As soon as it's resolved, it will also disappear. So it gives you a clean overview digitally of what is happening on your yard and enables you to react whenever it happens and not 30 minutes later.
That is amazing. And the feature is live and available in all bundles, like you said.
Indeed, exactly.
Okay, so again, guys, if you want to know more about this really cool feature, do register for the next webinar, the webinar in October. I think you need to... Yeah, okay. So the webinar in October will be all about this exceptions monitor. And you can already register for that webinar on our website. Under the events tab, you can find the next webinar and you can just already register so you know you're never going to miss it.
Piotr, you have another question. Can we extract some reports about events like this? Well, Arne will tell you everything about that in the webinar.
We'll go in a lot of detail. We have a full webinar dedicated to this new feature, so you'll get to guess all your questions.
Indeed.
So that's a little wrap up on our benefits of today. When you combine your automatic dispatching, combined transport, and your yard assistant app, you get no errors, no missed steps, way less admin because you don't have to upload the pictures at the end of the day, way reduced dock idle time, and a smoother driver experience, which is always nice because your drivers do put in some comments apparently on Google, as we saw.
We have heard that.
And this is how your automation can unlock your growth without adding to your headcount. So let's take a look at the questions of today. Let's see what we have here. Can you open the questions tab maybe?
Yes.
Where the little...
yeah.
Kevin asked, do you happen to know if the combined transport function works well with other system integrations?
Yes, but which tools we integrate, that is really something that we would have to analyze one-on-one. So the best advice that I would give you, Kevin, is to reach out to your customer success manager. I will also ask them to reach out to you directly after this webinar and make sure to take a look at all the possibilities for your yard so that you've got a good overview of what it will take.
Yeah, what specific integrations you have or need. So are there any other questions? I'm going to give people a few minutes maybe to think of something new. I want to see if we have anything we missed in the meantime. I think that's it for now. Okay, if there are no more questions about automation or new features, I would like to remind you that we sent an automatic email right after this webinar. You can rewatch the video instantly. And we also attached the slides with a little bit more information about everything we talked about today. If you're already a customer and you're curious to know more about these features or you want some help setting up, you can always reach out to your personal customer success manager.
And in the case you don't have a customer success manager yet, because you're one of our prospects or who are taking a look at everything that is possible, then you can reach out to the person you've been talking to or to Evelyn, the head of sales, and her credentials will be in the email.
You will find her email in that PowerPoint as well. All right. Thank you, Lien, for helping me host this webinar. Oh, we have one more thing in the chat, I see, that just popped up. On the right.
There, yeah.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Lily, thank you for hosting and making sure that everything works properly, because without you, that wouldn't work.
That's okay. Tech is kind of my thing. So thank you so much, everyone, and we'll hopefully see you next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.